Hi there, this is Kathy Crow here at the Crow Cottage, and thank you so much for joining me here in Springfield, Missouri. This is actually a little bit hot and humid today. I went out on a bike ride, went to the top of the hill, and thought that was enough, and came right back down. So here I am doing this instead, which is nice. So Jeff is taking his nap, and I am all set for at least an hour, even if he sleeps or not. He just doesn't sleep at night, you know? I mean, the guy doesn't really need a nap in the daytime, except for that he never sleeps at night. So today, I feel sorry for you guys that are like that, but unfortunately for him, he's been that way his whole life. So we've sort of functioned that way. He worked and just worked before. Now he's retired and sweet. He can actually take a nap. It's nice. Safari Smiles. This is such a cute set. I'm really excited to share it with you. And the card I want to do for you today is the little pop-up. It's super fast, super cute. This one's easier than the one I did last week for sure. This card was really fun too. Now this is the Z fold that I did a couple of weeks ago on that moon and back. Now that video had many glitches. I'm sure hoping today's does not. I never know. And I had to film it in 2 segments and it was badly done. But the dimensions are there if you just pursue it, and it's exactly the same as this one. So if you were wondering how to make this one, just go back and watch that moon and back video in 2 parts so you get the whole thing. And then these parts you're just gonna have to figure out. Okay, it's not hard to do. I know some of you would like me to just give you dimensions for absolutely everything, but I am exhibiting tough love with you because you can do it. You can look at a project, you can see how it is made without even holding it in your hand, but by judging the size of my hand in connection to this, and when I tell you this is a 5.5 by 4.25 card, you can figure it out. You really can. I have full confidence in you. All right. Trial and error just doesn't hurt at all. We are going to get started, and I will just keep going, rambling on and on about all of the wonderful Stampin' Up! World, because there are a lot of really cool things happening right now. There's a new catalog that's coming out, might be out now. I'm not sure. I got my stuff a little while ago, and so I hope that you have taken advantage of it because you know, I am sorry to say that by nature of supply and demand, things don't stick around a long time. So if you actually want something, what was that? Oh, that was my embossing tool. Okay. You do need to be a demonstrator. I mean, you just seriously do, because you are not going to be able to see things quick enough unless you are a demonstrator. We get a pre-order, and in that pre-order then we are able to order early, and that's the only way I get things. It's the only way most of us get anything. And if you don't do the pre-order because you don't want to be a demonstrator, then you're going to have to be really quick when the items come live in your catalog, and they are now, and the time is going to be gone, and then they'll be gone. So anyway, that was my warning, and that was my little lecture for the day, and I am done. This card, I was so happy it came when I did the dimensions today for this video. It happened so quick and easy. So glad, because that one you're going to really enjoy doing that with anything that has a nice sized, not too big, not too small stamp. This is probably, I don't know, I'd have to get my measuring out. I'm not good at seeing. I'm suspecting this is about 3.5 by 2.5. It might even be square size. Any of these would work on the inside, but as you can see, the little mama and baby work perfect. They fit on the inside. I didn't have to squish them too much together. The little pop-up in the center is easy to do, and because it's the same color as them, it just sort of disappears in the background. You cannot see it easily, so it's perfect. And then I am using a retired paper because it has a scene on it. And I don't have any paper. I do have the waterfront one that's really beautiful. So if you're doing a ship one, that waterfront paper, oh, wouldn't that be gorgeous? Oh, I should have done that today. Didn't think about it. But Safari Smiles is still probably available, and it's pretty cool. I really like the smiles. I'm very happy Stampin' Up! Has kind of abandoned some of the, I don't know, more somber, depressing, do I dare say that? Am I loud? Things. Yeah, I'm just saying. Smiles are nice. Animals or people. I want to see faces. I want to see smiles. So anyhow, this one was a nice little, if you know, this is the old stamp set from Last a Lifetime, and I'm going to get it out here so that you can see what it looked like. It had really nice dies with it. But the sentiments for wedding and all is really nice, and I just thought it went so well with our cute little lion couple. And anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started. Please shop with me. I would love to have you shop with me. There's lots of things to see on the Stampin' Up! Website, and I've been encouraging you to go and check out that clearance rack. Please do. Clearancing. Here we go. By the time my newsletter comes out for this project, this is going to be gone, and because the stamps are all that's left right now. Now, normally, I wouldn't even mention it unless you could get the dies, because these dies were really pretty, but they're not essential. You could actually have so much fun just with these flowers. They're really pretty. They're easy to color, and that one is on the clearance rack. So again, I'm going to do a card with that, but by the time I get it to you, that I know those will be gone. So I wanted to make sure that you were aware that that is available, and get it before it's gone. So today we're going to start with a regular sheet of smoky slate. I can see some sun fading on the side. My upstairs room where we used to have my craft room, this shelf where all my paper was on was right where sun just beat in really strong in the morning, and it was really nice for doing my card videos because it was bright and sunny, and I didn't have to worry about lighting the scent space all that much in our videos. But it really was taking a toll on my ribbons and paper. And so I moved it to the other wall, but it was still super bright in that room, like super bright. So every time I pick out a piece of cardstock and see that, I'm not surprised. It's just, you probably can't even tell, but I can see it slightly discolored on that edge. So be aware of where you store your things. Your ribbons, embellishments, they're probably not going to last that long, so you don't have to worry so much about them. Plus they're plastic, they tend to hang on to color better. But your paper and ribbons, store them out of the sun. Now we're going to take this sheet and cut it right down 4 1/4 by 11, and then this side, since this has the faded mark, I am going to take it and cut off that because I want one that's actually 4 inches. I want it 4 inches by, I'm going to go ahead and score it at 5 1/2. Okay, I'm going to score it at 5 1/2 because I want to go ahead and fold it. I want a whole, not quite a 1/4 of an inch off, but almost a 1/4 of an inch off. I'm just barely a smidgen on the other side of that 1/4 of an edge. That's going to be my insert, my center part, okay? So hang on to that. Throw away your scraps. Take the other side that you'd cut. Now it's nice and clean looking, and we're going to score that at 5 1/2 inches too. Thank you so much for subscribing to my newsletter and sending me nice messages, and I sure appreciate you guys. Remember, we do this because it really is a blessing to people. They love to be encouraged, and I love to encourage them. And it always surprises me that more people don't send cards because it's an easy way to do it. Now we'll take this and do that in a minute. I just wanted to make sure you knew what paper I'm using. You might have it left over. This was from a few years ago, Thoughtful Journey. I think like 2 or 3 years ago. I bought a bunch of it. And mainly for the sheet that I used here, mainly bought it for that. And so that's all gone. This was the last card that I could make with that paper. So I'm taking out of this collection, I'm taking this sheet. It'll work. It has a little bit of pretty peacock in there, and I think that'll look pretty with the elephants. So those I took, you'll need 2 of them, and of whatever, you know, oh, it doesn't have to be a scene. It could be any kind of background paper at all. It does not have to be a scene kind of paper. Take the 4-inch insert now. So make sure you've got the correct one. This is the bigger one that's going on the outside. I'm gonna set that aside. And let me get out my instructions here. Okay, so we've got 4 inches by 10 3/4, basically. And then what I'm gonna do is measure from this side, from the left side. I'm gonna measure over, oops, I forgot, I need to close the card. Close the card, that's incredibly important. Make sure the fold is at the top, okay? Ooh, that's important. The fold has to be at the top. And then we're gonna measure over 1 5/8. So I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5/8 right there. And then I am gonna cut a 1 3/4. I'm gonna make sure this is straight in here. And so I'm gonna cut 1 3/4. So I'm gonna bring my blade right to here, 3/4. So there's 1 inch and there's 2 inches actually. So I want 1 3/4. It's going right to there. Okay, cutting right there. Make sure it goes through both layers. And then I'm gonna just scooch it over to 2 3/8. 1, 2, 3. And it can be bigger or smaller. This can't go much smaller, but it could go a bit bigger and it would be fine. But this will make it about equal on both sides, doing it this way. So then we're gonna put the track down, make sure I'm at 1 3/4. And then I'm gonna go back over it, make sure it's cut. It looks pretty even. When you open it, you'll see whether it is or not. If it's not exactly even, both sides, then just take your little snips and snip it so that it is. Okay, just a little snip to make sure that these are equal. And now when you close the card, you're gonna use your finger underneath to push this up. We're gonna create a fold here. I'm not scoring it. And the reason I'm not is sometimes you need just a little bit of leeway here, because you may not have exactly cut it to the exact width on both sides, and in that case your card won't close all that well. So just to make sure that it's gonna close, I'm making sure everything's going, it's looking good, and we're gonna make sure that that crease is exactly where it needs to be. Okay, so close your card, and then you're gonna just use your bone folder. Okay, where this is. Okay, and then you're just gonna go like that, and now your bone folder has done a nice job of, and this doesn't need to, it's fine the way it is. Okay, so this is your insert, and that was it, you're done. Right now, I could probably just quit doing the video and you'd know how to do this. It's super, super easy. I love that. All right, so now we're gonna glue this on the inside right here, just like this. And now when you open and shut your card, you've got your little raised platform for your cute little elephants. Before we do that, I'm gonna go ahead and set that aside. We're gonna decorate this card because I want the little panels here to be on the front. All right, so we've got a 5 1/2. I'm gonna make sure I've got the front. This is actually the back because I can see I've got a little overhang there. So I want this one to be the front. And I'm gonna take this and get rid of some of the sky because we don't want 5 1/2 because this is 5 1/2. So instead of 5 1/2, we want 5 1/4. And I don't mind having a lot of the ground, but I don't really need that much. So I'm gonna get rid of some of it. And then I'm going to turn it and measure it this way, and we're going to go 5 1/4. Okay, and cut off the sky. And then these little panels on the inside, it doesn't really matter what the middle dimension is. It matters that these match up better. But you can see mine are not exactly. Mine have different widths. I just cut it and then fitted it on. I really didn't even measure it. So let's just see what I've got, because I'm not real sure. So this one I did at 1 inch, barely over a 1. This one I did at 1 1/2. Yep. This one I did at 1 1/4. Okay, so we're going to do 1 inch on this one and a little smidgen over it. Now I'm going to look real quick because I want to make sure that this pretty peacock piece is right here, because I want this circle to be the pretty peacock circle I've already cut out of a stitched circle. So that being the case, I think I'm going to start over on this side, and we're going to cut this side out first. And this one, I said, was 1 1/4. Okay, so we're going to go 1 1/4. For this one. Okay. That's going to go there. Actually, I didn't get as much into it as I thought I would. This paper is actually pretty forgiving. I can really move it anywhere in the scene. So I think I'll do this one 1 1/4. Because then I'm going to get a little bit more of that pretty peacock where I want it. Right there. And then this middle section is going to be 1 1/2. I think I want this middle section maybe. Yeah, it'll be okay. We'll do it. 1 1/2. Now, I am going to kind of double check here to make sure my pattern's going to work out. Yes, it will. Okay. 1 1/2. Some of things line up better than others. So you do want to make sure your seam is not going to be awkward when you place it on here. You're just leaving a little, like 1/8 inch seam in between. And I think I'm going to need another piece, but let's see. Yeah, I actually want to cut the one that fits here so it matches it. So this one was 1 inch. Okay. Make sure that's lined up. I went just a smidgen over the 1 inch. Okay, now when you're lining up your try anything, or if you've got 4 and you've got 4 parts, anything like that, 4 is harder. Because when you do something that's just 3, you just start in the middle. Start with the middle and start it in the middle. And then everything else is going to work out okay. Since I kind of already know it's going to work out okay, I'm going to just glue it on, but I'm going to just double check to see how big my little pieces are. Ideally, you would want it all the margins in the middle and on the sides all to be the same. And these are a little bit less than 1/4 of an inch, so actually that's perfect. Okay, I got the seam in the order I want. So I'm going to go ahead and break my rule. I'm starting on the side. Normally I would start in the middle just to make sure that I'm getting it layered correctly. But I think we're good. Anyway, Designer Series paper is perfect. I like that name because it actually is design. Stampin' Up! Has real artists that design these papers and paint them and photograph them and market them, but I mean they're really pretty papers. You can go down to the craft store and find. Sometimes you can find things that are comparable, but I would say most of the time not. Once in a while you'll find something that's better,
But again, most of the time I would say not. The colors match all of our colors, and I just like the prints. The prints are nice. These landscape kind of ones are really cool. Now I got that one too. I should have moved this one over a bit more, but I'm gonna just live with it where it is. Just make sure they're straight on the card. Really just being straight is more important than anything else, I think. Okay, now here I want to contrast here. And that little tag, these are available. These are new. This is scalloped blooms. Oh, they're so cute. Now they might even be out of order right now. I hope not, for your sake. They were an online exclusive that came out last month in May with our join special. And the join offer is gone. It's different now. It's the standard join offer now. But anyhow, when these are going to come back, and when they do, make sure you get them, because this is such a cute one. I want a contrast. So we're doing smoky slate, pretty peacock. You know, I'm kind of leaning to the green, but I'm not real sure. So I'm going to go ahead and grab out my Color Coach. You can get this online. Just type in Color Coach. This will come up and you can order one. I've got our in colors from the last couple of years in here, not the new ones. I haven't done the new ones on here yet, just so that I have a visual of them. And then I also have I actually added them into my, with some tape. I just cut them and from the catalog and put them in there. So I can kind of fit them in where I think they should go. Not that I'm getting genius, but I'm gonna move my Color Coach here to Pretty Peacock, doing the triadic thing. Where are you, Pretty Peacock? You gotta be in here somewhere. There you are. Okay, so I'm gonna put a line there with Pretty Peacock and see what options they choose for me. There's crushed curry. I could use that. And that. So any of the yellows, we've got a wild wheat. I don't think that one's on here. Oh, there it is, right there. And it's actually right next to crushed curry, so it would probably work. And I'm thinking this is a wild wheat color. I don't know, so I'm gonna get them both out. We'll get wild wheat out, we'll look at that. That's So Saffron, that actually might, or I mean, not So Saffron, so, what is it, oh, my brain. Soft Suede, that's it. Wait, is this the only piece of wild wheat I've got in here? No, there's a little piece, good. I only need a little piece. Okay, so wild wheat, yes, yes, yes. Now see, I really like wild wheat with Pretty Peacock. It's one of my favorite things, but crushed curry, you're okay. You're just pretty vivid. It's a good contrast though, so let's peek at it and see. We'll take wild wheat out. Now you see it does not, it's close. Not quite. It might go good with the gray. I'm not real sure about that. I'm thinking wild wheat is gonna be a lot better with my gray. And that's just my taste. Clearly these things are just people's personal opinions, so you can do whatever color you want, but I'm gonna do wild wheat. All right, so there we go. I'm gonna cut that out with this, and then we're gonna cut out this little label that's also from that, this Scalloped Bloom set. So I'm gonna put this on the side, move all these things out, and then I can move our machine over and get these cut. I'm not using any embossing today, but we've got this animal print embossing thing that's really cool. So that wouldn't be bad to use if you want to emboss anything. Now would be the time, like the Pretty Peacock one. I could have done the scallop there. I just didn't really want a scallop for this set, but that would have worked. Scallop would have worked. Okay, so we're gonna do wild wheat. And while I'm here, I'm also gonna cut out I'm gonna cut out this white part with one of my rectangle dies. You could use this. Where's my other parts to this set? The scallops won't work. They really just won't work, so we won't worry about that. But I'm gonna do white first with a tiny scrap of whisper white, or actually, what do we call this? Just basic white now. Our whisper white sort of disappeared. You know, this morning, was it this morning or yesterday morning? When I was going up the path, oh man, I've been enjoying going up our little driving up my typical, I call it a path, because it's actually back roads, up to the main road. Jeff he just goes, you know, the main roads. Oh, wait, let's do let me put these away, and then I will do the rectangle piece, and then I'll put this away. So it's like a path, and I go super slow because I want to see the animals. And I always see bunnies. I love that. Oh, we've got some really cute little baby bunnies out right now. Oh, they are so adorable. I've enjoyed watching them. And every time I go by one, I tell them, be careful out there, because, you know, they're so dumb. They're going to run across that road, and I go super slow. I make sure nobody's anywhere near me because I like to go so slow, but if there's anybody near me, they get impatient and they're right behind me trying to push me along, and I'm like, just go around me. Don't come this way if you want to go fast. If you're going to go fast, why would you pick this dumb little path, you know? But anyway, many people are always just in a rush. So I was just cruising along, saw the little baby bunnies, but today, or I think it actually was yesterday, but I get mixed up because I come up and down that road a few times, always hoping I'll see a little animal. Let me see which rectangle we've got. We've got like that one. It's about the 5th one down. It's pretty good size. Right by there's just fencing, you know, there where people have their backyards fenced off. That's it. And little groundhogs, little family of them. Oh my goodness, when I came along, I saw movement. One ran under the fence, and I thought, is that a groundhog? And I saw what looked like lumps of just earth there, and I thought, I don't think that was there before. Are those groundhogs? And then when I went along and saw those 2 little ones looking at me and the mama bigger one looking at me, and I slowed way, stopped. As soon as I stopped, of course, they wiggled under that fence fast. And I was thinking, man, I don't think that lady's backyard is, you know, that big, but big enough for 4, apparently. 4 cute little groundhogs. Thank you, Freddie, for telling us that they were whistle pigs. Never heard that before, and that's been one of the treats of living in a state far, far away from where I grew up. I've learned all kinds of things that we did not have in Washington State, although we had groundhogs, I'm sure, out in the woods. I don't think anybody ever called them a whistle pig. It's a great name, although do they whistle? That's my question. All right, so now we've got all of those pieces. And I keep bringing out my sample just to make sure I'm doing it right. So we want to do this contrast color here, like this, and we're just going to glue that down. And then we're also going to just glue this down, okay? So you're just going to position it however you want. And then this, I'm going to put the little hay there, and that's going to go. I want to be able to see that. I think that'll be fine. I kind of like it to be more like that. In which case we'll have it up. I need to put my elephant not floating too high. So I think before I do any of this, I need to do my elephant and get him cut out. And then that way I'm gonna know for sure whether I'm placing him where I want it, because I don't know. Now this set, super fun and easy to use. They're all photopolymer, and I love that. Makes my life so much easier having photopolymer. I'm not in any danger of having them fall off my block when I'm trying to stamp things. And I think these will both fit on here. Let's see, there's that one, here's the baby. Let's see if we can get the baby on there too. I think we can. And then by doing that, I'm gonna just stamp one time. And that'll be helpful. Okay, now I moved everything. Of course, I'm always refiguring stuff, and I moved my ink, but there it was. And it's better now. I had my line of vision to see our TV was blocked. I had stuff all stacked up here, and I've moved it around. It's actually a little more accessible, and I can see better. All right. Jeff does not have the love of seeing the baby animals, but he does notice them. So if he sees the bunny, then he'll tell me, did you see the little bunny? You know, here and there and everywhere. Like, no, I missed it. I didn't go that way. So sometimes he sees them when I don't, but I usually get to see them because he's just going the fastest way and I'm going the bunny way. And the bunnies, they're so cute. I know they're not going to last much. Like our geese that had their little goslings a few months ago, and I went down and saw them, there was only one, I think one family had only one left. Oh, so sad. I guess they weren't geese. I'm not so fond of geese. It was, what was it? Was it a goose? I guess maybe it was. I'm not thrilled with geese. They oftentimes are kind of an issue. They sure foul up our parkway a ton. All right, so let's do our hey there word while we're here. I'm gonna get my smoky slate out for that. Although pretty peacock would look pretty good too, but we're gonna use our smoky slate. And hey there is really good when you've got anything you're sending to kids, I think. I think they're gonna recognize your parent, grandma, or teacher voice. Your voice that's trying to be happy and encouraging, but trying to not be like commanding in any way, since some children just don't take that well. Some are fine, but some don't. Now, one nice thing of these little footprints, oh, how cute are they? You can, if you want to, you could add those to the bottom of your little insert card. They look really nice. It's easy to do. They're just like little ones. Let me take my smoky slate back again. I want space to write because this card doesn't have a lot of writing space, but it won't hurt to have little cute footprints walking along the bottom here. Let me move this. Isn't that cute? So easy. Do you remember what it was like when we were using all of those? I'm gonna get one heel here. Let me get it again. Because it's photopolymer, I can even do it again. I can get the little toes here. There we go. When we were trying to line up those cling stamps, and oh my goodness, oh no, I kind of need that on there. I think I broke it. We'll save that, we'll see. All right, now we've got that, and we'll put our stamps away, but not the dies, because I still am gonna need those. Now you can take, if you don't have a pen that's gonna color this properly, you could use your watercolor and probably get what you want. I'm not very good at that. So instead of doing that, I'm gonna just use my smoky slate. Smoky slate, where are you? Here you are, smoky slate. Now sometimes I keep a smoky slate that's kind of weak off on its own because it's running out. We've got our dark and our light and our weakest one. And then if I need to lighten it up, I'm gonna be lightening it up probably with my petal pink. Let's see, where are you? All right, so I've got the same situation going here with petal pink. I've got 3. That just tells me one of these doesn't work as well as the other, and I keep it that way. I can even add some alcohol ink make sure you get the right kind and dilute it a bit when it's starting to really weaken up, and I want to save it because it actually helps me color things a little bit better. There's a color lifter you can use that works too. This is not petal pink actually. This is something maybe a little darker. I'm not sure, but we're going to start with light. I want light smoky slate. These are both dark. Do I have another light one? Maybe not. Maybe this is my new light smoky slate. No, I don't see you in there. Okay, so we'll try this and see what happens. All right, we're gonna just go under his little ears. I don't need a whole lot of color going on here. I want his belly to be kind of lighter, but right here, definitely the legs darker, at least on the back part. Where the little skin folds are, you want that to be darker. You know, it's just up to you. If you want to do outlines, you can do that. That kind of works. I just kind of follow the outlines to some degree and then just sort of guess. I'm going to do the same thing with this little guy. Back leg. Kind of, sort of. There and there, the little skin folds. All right, so now this is all I'm using with light smoky slate. Ooh, well, I can't use dark smoky slate, can I? So that means I'm gonna have to find a nice gray that is comparable, because we don't have a lighter gray. We've got cloud cover, which is real pretty, but it is not a lighter gray. So I'm gonna get out, I'm getting toner and cool from my Coppet collection here, and then we're gonna try it out and see what works best. Okay, let's try CO2. That's pretty light. Now some of these do not blend as good as others though, so I'm checking to make sure this is gonna actually blend. It's doing pretty good. Pretty good. And then I can go back and color it more if I want to. That's CO2. Let's try, we've got CO. Let's try that one. That one's very light. So that one's going to be the last one. All right, so we're going to go with CO2. And I'm going to just color mostly around where I've already colored. And then we're going to go over it all. Okay. I do want some of his ear, but I want to leave a lot of space for his little pink ears. They're pretty cute. And his little cheeks, I can color pink right over that. So I'm going to just color his head. I'm going to leave this part though, because I do want to lighten that edge up. So you can kind of see I'm just lightening up these edges. I'm not doing a lot here with that. You could use a pencil. Stampin' Up pencils are really nice. I just am lazy and these go faster. So one nice thing about the pencil is you can actually do like little hair marks. Now an elephant, I don't think he's particularly hairy, but if I wanted him to be, I would definitely be using the pencil, at least to finish it off. Okay, let's do the other edge so I can smooth him out a bit. And that's blending pretty good. All right, we're gonna do this one the same way. I'm gonna use this other chisel tip because it's firmer and I'm not in as big a danger of ruining it by pushing down hard enough to really get it to blend it in. Kind of washes out the ink quite nicely, actually. All right. Very good. I've been looking to see where Jeff and I and the kids are going to go, because our kids are going to be visiting us here pretty quick. Other kids, we've been all over the place visiting family. It's been really nice, but this group's coming up here, or down here actually would be the correct terminology. And oh boy, it's going to be fun, but our grandkids are getting old enough that it's easier, like lots easier. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and take my other one, it's the lighter one, and go all over those edges. And then anywhere you want to lighten it up, you could take your blender pen and do that. I'm going to just use this. Oh, do they call it the blender pen? I think so. No, it's the lifter. The lifter pen is what it is. I'm going to do the inside of the ear because I don't want it to be too super pink. It's got to kind of match with the rest of the elephant. Okay, his little feet, his little belly. Okay, now I'm just looking to see, okay, where do I want to lighten this up? And anywhere you want to lighten it up, then just keep going over it with whatever lighter color pen you're using. And try to keep it blended. Again, I can see some of it separating out. That means their inks aren't playing together exactly the way I want. And when that happens, then you're probably going to have to take your darker one again and kind of even it out. And that is a problem you don't have with pencil. Pencil is just, I'm coloring darker or I'm coloring lighter, and then that'll work. Okay, let's try Petal Pink. Oh, let me look at my paper first. See, do I really want Petal Pink in here? I don't want any of these, that's for sure. So Petal Pink it is. All of these are dark. Come on, I know I got a light Petal Pink in here somewhere. Where are you? Petal Pink. Maybe I don't. Thought I did. So Coral, Peach Pie, Petal Pink, Pale Papaya. That might work. I don't see a petal. I'm sure I've got a Petal Pink. I've got to go out. I've got to go on the website and get my Petal Pink because I must not have any more. I don't see any. Oh, you've got to be kidding. It's one of my basic colors. Yuck. Oh my goodness. Okay, well here's number 500. That might work if I have to, but usually those are yellowish. I don't want that. So we're just using this one. This one's tip's really gone. That is not pink enough. I need it to be a bit more pinky. We're going to use this, but I'm not sure that I like it that much. All right, but that is going to work. And then we want his little smile, little apple around the mouth. You can even do the mouth a little if you want. I kind of like having his little feet done just a little bit. Okay, like that. It just makes him cuter. I don't know that it does, but he does to me. And then if you want any pink, find a very, 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 very light pink. And then you can use that, and then use your pretty peacock to kind of blend it in. I'm not really seeing anything right offhand, so I'm just not going to do that. This one, I think you're way too yellow. Yeah, you are. All right, so we'll push that aside. Let me put the camera back up again because now we are going to cut this out. I think that's it. I just need, oh, what am I thinking? I needed 2 of those. Why didn't I just do 2 while I was here? Wasn't really thinking about it. Gotta do it again. I would have been much faster if I had gotten both of them going at the exact same time. Sorry about that. It's going to take a little longer while I do because you need four elephants. Now you could do just one, but actually covering up the inside thing works. I just thought it looked cuter when I did two inside. I just thought it was cuter. All right. You're so sweet. I am feeling the stickiness in here. Oh man, Jeff said it was going to rain today, and I think he said it was going to rain around 3, so it's getting that time. So I bet it is. I bet it is going to rain. I sure felt it out on the bike. We have a pretty big hill outside of our house, and then by the time I get to the top of the hill, it's like, good. If I've made it that far, I am going all the way, because that's kind of like a lot of work right there. And then today, though, I was thinking, because I have to come back up that hill too on the way back. And it's actually worse coming back because the hill that climbs it on the other side is more steep. We're like halfway up it, and the path that I ride to that goes to our park path, light smoky slate, that path is way down at the bottom of the hill. So anyway, I am going to go faster on this one, okay? I'm not going to think about it as much because I just kind of need to move along here. So we'll go like this and this and this, this and this, this and this and this. A little bit on that top ear. Where do I want? On the trunk. I do kind of like the trunk being a little dark down there. And his neck, kind of like getting the neck. Okay, I think that's good. There we go. I keep seeing little spots. Okay, that's good. And then your CO2. No, there it is. Chisel. Okay, we're gonna go over the whole thing here really quick. He's running out. I'm gonna have to turn it over because I have inks that I fill these with, so I'll have to leave this out so that I remember to fill this one. It's definitely starting to run out. Okay, you can do it. I probably have another CO2 in there, I bet. Let's see if I see it. No, I don't. Okay, so this is it. Let's make it work. All right, very good. And then we'll finish with our CO. There we go. I don't hear anything upstairs, so Jeff must be getting a good nap. Either that or he is on Facebook. Jeff, if you're watching, he doesn't watch. He does go by and make goofy comments sometimes on my page, which is really nice of him to do. I have thought of deleting them at times, but I haven't, because this is basically, I started this from his page anyway, so I can't justify really doing too much with it. It's like, wow, if I could do it on my own, I suppose I don't have to do it on his page, but I do. Oh, CO. That's going to be really light. I need that CO2 back again. There you are, chisel point. We're going to go ahead and do a little more here, just because that's looking a little blotchy. Oops. this is the nice thing about dies. If you make a big goof like that, it doesn't really matter, does it? Because you're going to cut it off anyway. Okay, that's pretty good. That's the wrong color. That's the wrong color. That's the wrong color. I got two of those, but only one of those other ones. Okay. Lighter. Oh, I got his ear really dark. Oh well. We'll lighten that up. Now for the petal pink, and we're all set. Petal pink. That looks very, very, very gray. If you just keep going over it, if your pen has ink, it will wash it out. So just keep going. It'll do it. These little feet. Okay, we are ready to cut. Super cute. All right, finally. Now, put you guys up here, and we will get all finished. Now, on this set, you have wonderful little cloud dies and grass dies and a little rock. I do really like a little rock. He'd be fun, very fun. Oh, look at the little bird. There's a little bird, too. I'm always a big bird fan. You know, Jeff and I love birds, and we have tons of bird feeders outside, but there are grackles that apparently they, when they're nesting is when they get really bad. And they're here all year long. I was really hoping they said they were migratory, so I was really hoping they left. We've had them before, but in the past, when I was doing the seed, I just stopped putting it out for like 2 weeks. And then they'd go away, and you know, eventually I'd start doing it again, and they wouldn't come back. But Jeff is much more diligent than I am, so he has done the seed, so he's just putting it out, and those grackles are making pigs of themselves. Well, they were finishing what would normally take a week and a half to finish. They were finishing it in 1 day. All the other little birds left because they were constantly, and they're so loud. They screech really loud. And when we first moved here, I didn't mind it so much, but I've gotten real tired of it now. So I found online, they're called bird selector feeders. I never heard of such a thing. And they're little wire cages, and they even have them down at the Bass Pro Shop, which I wish I had thought to go down there and look before I bought them online, because they were cheaper at the, well, they were actually cheaper. I did look at Menards. I went to Menards first. They didn't have one. And if I just waited 2 weeks and gone back to Menards, well, what do you know? There it is, and cheaper than anything I found online. But when I looked, of course, they do not have it. And I didn't think to look at Bass Pro Shop. Theirs was cheaper than the online versions. So they're little cages with a tube feeder, and they don't hold a lot. You have to fill it pretty often, but Jeff's the one doing it anyway, so he'll fill it as often as he wants to. And so anyhow, it's worked out great. Our cardinals are sad because they only have one little feeder to go from, and the grackles kind of can get on that one because they're similar in size. Cardinals are a little smaller, but not small enough to have been able to fit in the other ones. But it has been so fun to see those awful, awful grackles try to, you know, look at the feeder and think, why can't I get on there? They're nice because they are awful. Okay, so now we're ready to put everything together. Let's go ahead and put this in first. I'm just going to glue this down. And what you want to do is glue this back side first, okay? don't get too much glue up here. It's going to stay in, and you definitely do not want glue oozing out on the sides. So you do want to make sure you've got it going really good right here. So I'm going to close it and try to line it up right there where the fold is. Make sure the edges are, make sure it shuts. Okay. And then you can push that down. All right, and now you're ready to do this top part. Okay. Oh, this is such an easy fold to do. I really like that. It's like sweet. There it is. It's done. The pop-up part anyway. And then, oh, I need my glue because we're not quite done yet. All right, so we've got that. And then we're going to put on the, this label. I want to see how this guy's going to fit on here. Yeah, he's fine right there. Where's my little hey there? There it is. Excellent, because I kind of want it there. So that works out perfect. So I'm going to just keep my finger on it. This is where I want it. Now I can see where I want it. Put your little label there. This is your scallop blooms. Remember, here's your stitch circle or scalloped. You could do the scalloped bloom there too. That would be good. That. Now this I want a dimensional on. And I want dimensionals on the elephant too. And I'm going to do the baby elephant. No, there's not room for that. You could do the baby elephant here too. He's pretty cute. I think I will. Since I did two, I might as well, right? All right, so we want dimensionals on here. I don't have any ribbon going. That makes everything go faster. I have to struggle with ribbon so much. I was working on one of our new sets though, and the ribbon actually was the best ribbon I've ever tied. If you, when I looked at it, I thought, how in the world did that happen? I've worked so hard on ribbons in the past, and they did nothing. And this one, just miraculous. This one looks better. I'm putting him on the front. Oops. Okay, where's that? There it is. That and that. And then I usually have little pieces that I've cut on these minis. I know I have a white mini here somewhere. There, we'll put you right there. I don't know if the mini will really fit here where his trunk is. Let's see. Yeah, it does. Wonderful. And maybe down here on his foot. I'm just trying to make sure he stays on, you know. All right. I think that's good. My nails get really bad if I don't use... I saw an offset tweezer, and I think I need to get it. I think an offset tweezer might really help me here. These little backings. Although this works good too. It's kind of like those cake decorating tools that you can buy, really fancy ones that are like offset. Oh, let's find the baby and see how he's gonna fit here. Like that. Yeah, let's put him up a little higher. Right there, and kind of see it there, but not bad. And then this guy, if he's gonna fit here, we're gonna glue his head, and we're just gonna put little dimensionals here on the back of his body, because I want him to be the same. I've already got this one higher level, and I try not to go more than one, because for obvious reasons, the post office just doesn't like to deliver my super fat cards anymore. They used to without any trouble, but apparently that must cost them money somehow, and they've stopped doing it. So anyway, we'll put some glue there, and let's stick you right up there. Oh, you are adorable. And then we put Mama. Mama's gonna go here. Make sure her trunk's not coming out. And I'm gonna just glue her right on there. Okay, so just make sure you're getting glue on the part that is gonna be on that center, because you don't want it to be glued anywhere else, just on that support. And then close it and make sure it's high enough that it's closing nicely. Okay, and then we can put the baby on. We're gonna glue the baby like right on here actually, because I don't want another dimensional sticking that out. So we're just gonna put some glue on the little baby and it will be perfect. So cute. There we go. Wasn't that nice? And then we're gonna just do this right here, and we are, oh, I forgot the picture on the inside. I still have to do that, but that's easy too. All right, so take your white paper that you cut out with whatever rectangular or tag. We've got some really nice tags that you could use too. Okay, now the paper on the inside, remember this is, I think this is 1/2 inch. So all we're gonna do is we're gonna take that second sheet of paper and we're gonna cut around it and fit that in right there. So it's somewhat tricky, but not really. It just takes a little bit of thought on how to do it. So let's take our cardstock first and make sure that we have it the right size. Do I want it at the edge? I do. So I actually want it this whole length. So this is 5 1/4, and this is 4 inches, a little bit smaller than the 4 inches. I'm thinking I kind of want this side, I think. So let's go a little bigger than 4, just to make sure it's big enough. And then I'm taking off, oh, some of the ground, not a lot, but just some. And then the sky, oops, let's turn it because I can't see my measurement that side. We're gonna take the sky off, so 5 1/4, and a little bit less than that. All right, so this should fit, and you can see if it does. Good, it's gonna cover those edges really nicely. I need a little bit more off, just about 1/8 of an inch off, or 1/16 of an inch actually. There we go, and then check your height, and that's perfect. Okay, so you can even just do it like this. I think it'd actually be easier for you. Turn your cardstock over, position it the way you want, and then we're gonna take our pencil or a pen that won't go through the ink, and then we're gonna cut, we're gonna just cut around that right here, there. We're gonna go a little on the outside of that, and this is 1 3/4. So right there. So 1 3/4, is that correct? That doesn't seem quite right. Let me look at that again. I think that was the whole length, so it'd be double that. This is actually, oh, I need my other wooden ruler. This one has a little edge to it. So it is actually 5/8. 1 5/8. Okay, so 1 5/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me line it up again. 1 5/8. And then over to the other line that I made right there. Oops, I moved it. My finger keeps knocking it out of the track where I wanted. Okay. Oops, I need it. No, that's about right. Okay, right here, let's line it. 1 5/8.
there's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right up there. Okay, and then 1 5/8 right there. Okay, that should just fall out pretty much, and now it should fit right over there, and it does. Isn't that good? All right, so that is that, and then you can glue this on and you are all set. I love these background papers. They're so pretty. They work really nicely for scenes like this. Now, I did have some old jungle, paper that I used on the other cards, and those were cute. But the little palm tree you see with the Z-fold elephant card, that is like a super old Stampin' Up wood block set. That has a couple of palm trees on it that are kind of an Asiatic theme. Oh, they're so cute. Yeah, I save my stamps, and I'm so glad that I do, because I always have something fun to use. All right, look at that. You're nice. I love it. All right, so I hope you have a wonderful day and that you get to enjoy a good Stampin' Up experience too. Make sure you check out that clearance rack. Remember, all kinds of things. The new catalog. Oh man, let me know if you don't have one so that you can get one. And I think that's it. I'll see you next week. Bye.